Well, I started Diablo when I was 12, but it was on and off for the first 3 years or so. So I didn't practice much, it was more for fun. And then at age 15 was kind of when everything changed. I started performing, and I started teaching at Chinese schools, after school clubs. And yeah, so 15 I started taking it a little more seriously, practicing a lot more, pretty much every day more or less. How did I get started? I started because there was a teacher from Taiwan on tour in the US, along the East Coast. So they toured a lot of different cities along the East Coast of the US. And I was lucky enough that New York City was one of the cities. So they came, and it was only for about a week long. It was a camp. And I learned my first few tricks there. Yeah, toss and catch, spider web, some grind. And I just really liked it. It was really interesting. And then I saw the teacher perform, and I was like, wow, I want to do that one day too. So yeah, after that 1 week, well, there really wasn't anyone to teach me, but I just started going on YouTube, looking up videos, and mainly practicing on my own and trying to figure stuff out on my own. And it was really tiring, but it was really fun. So I started performing when I was 15, and at one of my performances, there was a Chinese school principal there. He saw my performance and just asked me to teach, if I was willing to teach at their Chinese school, and started a yo-yo club at the Chinese school. I said yeah, so I got one started, and it went really well for the first 2 years. Other schools started noticing and asked me to teach at their Chinese schools too. And the Diablo community, specifically here in the United States, has grown a lot, in my opinion. So back then when I was doing it, I was the only one that I knew that was like practicing Diablo. No one knew what it was. So back then I was doing it, people were like, what is that? I've never seen that before. Yeah. And I was the only one practicing. I was very lonely. There was no one I could share my tricks with. You know, honestly, I wouldn't want to go back to where I was compared to where I am now. Right? One of the biggest differences is that there's actually a community now that I am a part of. There are people out there that I could communicate with and collaborate with. And I don't know, because back then it was just me practicing on my own, looking for tricks to learn on my own, pushing myself. Now there are other people pushing me, motivating me. There are people I could reach out to if I have any problems, and I feel a lot more comfortable where I am now than I was back then. Yeah. But now there are clubs everywhere in schools. It's great to see that, you know, young kids are learning together, you're collaborating and trying to teach each other tricks. And colleges are actually starting their own Chinese yo-yo clubs too. That's great to see. So one of the biggest things that's like influenced the growth of the Diablo community, I think, would be technology and like exposure in general. So people like a few people like me or schools, they've been performing in different places. You put up videos on YouTube, or you put out your Instagram stories, and other people, your friends, will all see it. I think another big one will be just starting clubs at schools in general. So a lot of people have been starting their own clubs in colleges, in their middle school, in their high school, doing a few performances here and there, and that's how you start gathering people, and you start a club. So it might not be big at first, but gradually you'll get there. I think that's a big one. And like, you know, making Instagram groups, Facebook groups, everybody gathering together, and it just grows from there. Oh, so basically there are a lot more resources for me out there right now that I could use to add to my craft, to my performances. And performances is another big one. I have a lot of performances now. Back then I had none, basically. Back then it was just me motivating myself to like learn new tricks. Now I have performances I could look forward to, that I push myself to practice. And for this performance, I want to get this certain craft down. And then the next one, I want to do something even better. That's how I motivate myself now. Yeah, so I have a lot more resources now.